Jerry Mallory here for SB Nation and PrivateTrade.com. We've been down this road before. It's the fourth win in a row for the Lions. Third comeback, dramatic fashion. Feels pretty good. And so we're going to talk about the implications of this 20-16 victory at Ford Field against defeating the Miami Dolphins. You like the Miami colors? I'm going to raise up a little bit. This is for Louis Delmas. Gone but not forgotten. A little lion with the dreadlock thing when I purchased his shirt a while back. It reminded me of Louis Delmas. He was the dreadlock lion. No longer with us, Miami colors, so this shirt's for you, but the win is for us. So the implications of this win, heading into this thing, when we're looking at the second half of the season, we know second half collapses, haven't faced a lot of quality teams. We know the three upcoming games, Miami, then Arizona, then New England was probably the roughest and toughest three-game stretch, maybe of any team in the NFL this year. So for me, I said we had to win one. Got to win one. The easiest one would be the home game against Miami because you win this one, the next two games, you're playing with house money. I'm not conceding defeat. You want to win every game, every chance you get. But if you can come out 1-2 in this stretch, after that, you have some very winnable games at home, followed by two tough road games to end the season. You know, my thought is win one of these three, then one of the last two on the road, and you should take care of business the three easier home games. So they did that. This was the one. You know, you lose this game, you're staring at 6-3, and 6-5 looks like a very likely possibility. These two next games are going to be tough. So you now, at the very worst, are going to be 1-2. You win one of these games, 2-1, 8-3. I mean, you win all three, and I mean, look out, probably the best team in the NFL, right? I mean, you would have to say that. But not to get ahead of myself too much, looking at these three games, the Miami game was the one that you said, man, you got to find a way to win this one because now you're playing with house money. If you end up 1-2 in this stretch, you know, you want to do better than 1-2, but it's kind of like get one of these tough three. You got an easier slate ahead. So, you know, big game for us. Really dominant early on. The score didn't reflect it. You know, James ahead of ball. Overall, good game. You know, the huge interception, but he had some mishaps. I think an unnecessary stiff arm on Ryan Tannehill that moved him back, which made Stafford throw that long throw. And let's talk about Brent Grimes. We're going to touch on Stafford and Calvin, you know, in a second and Golden Tate. Might be the best play we've seen in the NFL this year. All 40 inches of his vertical on display, one hand grab. Not so much showing up Stafford or showing up Calvin. Wasn't the best throw ever, but it wasn't a horrible throw. But, I mean, he just kind of showed up the whole team with a monstrous highlight Sports Center. You know, when you're replaying the 2014 season, showing the top plays, Brent Grimes' one-handed interception is going to be up there. But back to James Aheadable, that pass was thrown because it was a deeper pass because of his penalty. I think he could have just ran straight and got that pick six at the very least. You can't give up 15 yards, even if you don't score the touchdown. Then he had a key miss as well that cost him a first down, but he played great overall. Big tackles when you needed it. The big interception was a point saver, so to speak. And then at the very end, you know, you need a big stop. You need to, you know, take them down to 3 points instead of 7. He did just that with a huge pass breakup on Charles Clay. So just a big win overall. And this was a good team. You know, people argue the quality of the teams that we've beat. Oh, man, you beat New Orleans. They're 4-5 now. You know, you beat Atlanta, whoop-de-doo, Minnesota. Only quality game was Green Bay just before they got on their roll. I mean, you hear things like this all the time. There's no denying the Miami Dolphins are a good team. They were a good team before we faced them. We beat them. They're still a really good team, and we defeated them. It wasn't as fluky as the other two comeback wins. Not saying, you know, those games don't count because they do, but they had a lot more fortune go our way against New Orleans. We had to get that key interception. Some coaching blunders from Atlanta. This one was just a good old-fashioned comeback, just a battle of wills, and we came out on top. Also important because as I'm taping this, the Green Bay Packers are leading about 7,300-0 against the Bears. No, seriously, it's 45-0 right now. They're going to win. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say the Green Bay Packers are going to move up to 6-3. So we're 7-2, still a game and a half over them. So this is a huge game overall. Stafford looked good at the end. Say what you want about him. I'm starting to, his inaccuracies really starting to get to me the last few weeks. But when it counts the most, when the money's on the line, this guy is devastating. I think the last offensive drive really showed what both Tate and Calvin can do together in tandem. I think early on, they kind of struggled to find their way, their mesh, whereas Tate took a very big back seat because Calvin was in. Calvin, the catch, and let's not be remiss. Brent Grimes had a great play. It was only after Calvin with a spectacular grab himself that only he can do. Only player in the NFL that can make a grab like that. I don't care about Demarius or Dez Bryant. Calvin's still the most electrifying man, the best receiver, best non-quarterback player in the game. All those accolades, Barry Sanders of the 2010 millennium with that great grab. But they started to have a mesh toward the end where Golden Tate, Calvin Johnson in unison getting big plays. What we've been hoping and dreaming of, and it came to fruition. We didn't leave totally unscathed. The offense with some nicks, dings, bruises. Adrian Waddle gets hurt. Larry Warford gets carted off. Looks like it's a knee. Brandon Pettigrew back out. Reggie Bush back out. So the offense, we're trying to get healthy, but looks like, we may be down again. This is a huge heavyweight bout. This is going to be the match of the year so far in the NFL season. You can debate. It's a handful of games so far that's been really big. But this Arizona-Detroit Lions game is huge. 7-2, 8-1. Is this the NFC Championship preview? At this point, it's the top two teams in the NFC. We'll leave it at that. So this big one. Not to look too far ahead in Arizona. This next two games are going to be really tough. You want to win one out of these three. Now you're playing with house money. Let's do a split. Let's get greedy and take the next two road games and really put our stamp on the league. A great win by the guys. Overall, this is a good team we faced, and we defeated them. Props to Stafford. Props to Caldwell. Props to Prater. Special teams still a little shaky. Jeremy Ross not really getting as much done in the return game as we saw in his first year. But, there is no perfect win, very rarely, unless you're Green Bay facing Chicago tonight. So ugly, but a win. And this one was less fluky in terms of comebacks. This was a little bit more solid. This was a little bit more, we didn't need coaching blunders. We didn't need uncharacteristic plays from Drew Brees. We just came back. We were the better team today, better team overall. Your thoughts on the game. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. We'll be back. I'm about to go finish doing some cartwheels, backflips, high fives, moonwalks, a few twerks, you name it. I've been doing it. Great win. I'm happy. The Lions won, so it's a happy Sunday. You go to work, it's a happy Monday. You know the drill. We want to keep this momentum going, and I'm going to be happy until the next time we lose. And I'm not looking forward to that day. Maybe it'll come in 2015. Okay, I'm done eating cornbread. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this has been Jerry Mallory for SB Nation and PrivateTroy.com.